Alex.
Thanks
Nice
for
to meet
coming.
you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Thank you for inviting me.
How was your journey?
It was really good. Like the underground was a little bit busy as it gets, but not too bad, yes.
Good. So, just let's start by telling me a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm doing my final year at Greenwich, and I am half Colombian, half Spanish, and I've been in the UK for about 4 or 5 years.
What are you studying?
Business management. So it's a little bit of a mix because I did business management, but I also did a bit of finance because I did my final placement year at IBM,
Okay.
and I was part of the financial department. So that's kind of a bit of myself and my experience.
Yeah. Awesome. So, are you doing a dissertation at the moment?
Yes, that's right.
Tell me a bit about your topic.
Well, the topic is offshoring and to what extent offshoring affects the business strategy. So I don't know if you've been in contact with offshoring, but what it does normally is the offshoring strategy gets implemented, and because employees are not taken into account, these people emotions change and their attachment to the organization changes as well. So to an extent that I believe these can affect the business strategy. So what I'm trying to measure is to what extent people's attitudes and behaviors change after the introduction of an offshoring strategy in a business.
Okay. Cool. So you mentioned that you did a placement year at IBM.
Yes, that's right.
Kind of tell me how the experience that you gained from there is going to be relevant to your dissertation topic.
Well, it's quite relevant depending on the organization I'll be working for, especially because in IBM the offshoring was quite dramatic, so it was really intense. So I think it really affected the company and it started affecting the employees' performance in the onshore location. However, obviously, I know the bank is probably not using that strategy because obviously it's probably all UK based. So I think it affects depending on the business strategy, but it's generally for businesses that take offshoring as part of their strategy.
Okay, cool. So, do you have previous work experience? Can you give me a brief summary of what you've been doing before IBM?
Yes. So, well, I did my placement year, as I said, in IBM, and before that, I was a supervisor in House of Fraser.
Okay.
This was quite. I think this is the main reason I went for finance because I realized my course was not finance focused enough. So there was not enough focus in finance. So I decided to do a bit more extra on it, and that's why I did my placement in IBM. And in terms of House of Fraser, it gave me a good background in terms of finance because I was managing all the performance in terms of the financial performance. So comparing week to week, year to year, and how the trends were changing, and how we could actually make, get better results year to year or week to week. Okay. That's how I got into finance. I went to IBM.
So you mentioned you were a supervisor at House of Fraser. Can you give me an example of where you needed to provide leadership skills within a team?
Yes. So the company went into administration after I joined. I think I joined the company, and a year later they went into administration. And as a result of this, most of the employees left. This was really bad for the company because obviously they have financial problems, but also their team was gone. So what I did was I took some responsibility extra than what I normally had, but I took some responsibility and tried to put a team together and inspire them to love the job because obviously the conditions of the company were really critical. So there was not much to love about the company, but there was a lot that could be taught to them. So I taught them how to love the company, love the job, and what they could get out of it. Even though the company was in administration, it was a great opportunity for people to grow and then, kind of build their careers within the company.
Oh, cool.
So I can try to do that.
Good. What's your greatest achievement to date? What are you most proud of?
Well, I think my greatest achievement has been exploring different cultures and the understanding of the world in general. I think I can relate to everybody these days, especially because I've been in a privileged family with lots of money and families with nothing, and then I've been in a country with like Colombia that has nothing, and you really have to struggle. And I've been in Spain where you're just obviously more comfortable and less worried about money. And I've been in Asia where I saw poverty and all these things. So I think my greatest achievement as a person and professionally is understanding how the world operates and how people can make a difference and how you can make a difference. And this understanding will be important for me and my career in the future.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Alex.
It's been a pleasure
Thank
to
you
meet
very
you.
much.
And I'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Perfect. Have a nice day.
Bye now.